So again, in the booklet here, I have provided the genetic path cutter antiviral protocol. And again, this is very basic information, but it's a start. And it gives you, again, a couple of tools. I do really, if this does feel resonant for you, and you do know of or feel, again, resonant with this relationship with virus, I really do recommend or suggest, having some supplementation, like say olive leaf extract, something that is antimicrobial, antiviral, to help assist your liver and your detox organs to just clear it out. It just helps your body to kind of clear out. And again, there are some cleanses and some detoxification that at times in your journey are going to be extremely helpful. And again, in my personal point of view, I feel very necessary. I will be very honest with you. There are going to be times you need to take care of your physical body. And this is going to include possible cleanses, supplementation, detoxification programs, because your liver and your kidneys are also very taxed when you are clearing these particular energies. And again, that brings us back into that understanding that every single organ has a particular emotional resonance with it, as well as its own frequency. So in the booklet as well, I've described a couple of other things about what our liver is symbolically. What I have found as well, I want to show that I didn't write in here, is that the liver seems to be the seat of our ancestral agreements. When I do client sessions and I see beings with a taxed liver and I find their parents still attached in there, I recognize they've got some cording going on with their family of origin. So our liver tends to be very much connected. If you have not resolved issues with your mother, with your father, with the masculine, feminine energies, it can root itself and create a sympathetic resonance in your liver. So the liver not only seems to have an energetic, emotional resonance to anger and rage. Again, suppressed, if you are suppressing anger, suppressing rage, the liver will definitely have a response to that and be weakened and impaired, as well as the ancestral kinds of agreements that we have in clearing what would be known as, this is another part of genetic path cutting, is ancestral clearing. Ancestral or family of origin. So what is very common in all of us, I see this all the time, we each have this, is that we are here to clear the dysfunctional patterns. Sometimes they are emotional, sometimes they are from an imbalance of an illness. Like say, someone on one of the lines, say matriarchal or patriarchal, and you've taken on that particular ancestral agreement, and it's to clear in the genetic code an imbalance that is created, a biological disease in that family line, in the genome, okay? Now, for us, we don't normally associate disease with emotional dysfunction. So, from the guardian point of view, everything is about emotional dysfunction. When we live out of harmony with our true greatness as beings, what happens is we start to create something called miasmatic buildup. It creates blockages. This is what's known as karma. Our program, which should be unconditional love and fun and play, actually started to get distorted because we started to live out of balance and out of harmony with the natural laws of who we are as beings, in the oneness that we truly are. And so over time, these became distortions that created disease in the human race. It created distortions on the planet as well. So we were feeding each other because we're the planet is us. The more distortions of these energies that we fed the solar planes, right, as we were having unbalanced thoughts or treating each other poorly in some way, this became recorded into the cellular matrix of the planet and started refracting the light of our consciousness into distorted patterns through us. So that when we saw each other, we would now have a distorted view of ourselves. We're here to clear those distortions. But to understand that ancestral agreement piece, I think is very important too as well when we talk about genetic path cutting, is there are some different sequences to it. Not only can it be, and you'll kind of feel everyone's a little bit different. I have met many beings that are sent to be in groups and may wake up and go like, what am I doing here? But they're there to do the clearing work. They will literally hold the space for the group. So again, so important to understand your role, if it is your role, to know that this is real. I think in our minds we go, how could that be? Is that really true? Oh my goodness. And again, once you get to a level where you've gone through your evolution to a point where you've developed your emotional cognition, the direct knowingness in your cellular system, this happens more so when you start working with the 7th, 8th, and 9th frequencies. Something called the cellular knowingness. This is the oversoul aspect of your identity starts to become merged into your biology, and you become very adept at energy signature reading and very adept at understanding, you know, again, these particular energies and frequencies. So, we have somebody coming in. Sorry, I'm late. That's okay. Just have a seat. So anyway, so about the ancestral clearing, genetic path cutting, there's different levels of it. And these are some of the variations that I've seen it manifest in. And the more, the more of us that are aware of light working with energy fields, know more of this makes more sense. I know this may be a new language to some of you, but to most of us that work in the healing or consciously working with energy already, it makes a lot of sense for us because we understand that we are brought in to harmonize space, transmute energy, and it is through our very vehicles that this occurs. So in understanding this, of course, at some part in your journey, it will be very important to understand how to take care of your physical body in some different ways that may be needed to stabilize your physical. And I will say that at this time, because of the May activations, I mean, this was given to me like they were like, now. You need to talk about this now, and obviously because some of us are going to have more physical stuff that maybe if you haven't had a physical symptom before and you're not really understanding what I'm saying, this is something you're going to start to see more of in the future because the frequencies are coming in, and as I said, there are two things that are going to happen. You're either going to expand and you're going to be able to hold that frequency, or you're not. And again, you can always shift it at any moment. That is not something that is meant to be a threat or a fear. It's just meant for you to understand the physics of energy and how it works so that you can work with the energy and work in alignment to it instead of resisting it itself, because it will manifest in blockages if you resist it. So anyway, so that is about genetic path cutting. And I'll leave some time at the end. I know I'm like talking about a lot to have some questions on that. But the next part I wanted to talk about was a little bit about the electromagnetic field symptomology, and again, kind of bring that home about coping with the electromagnetic fields and understanding exactly in our Ascension biologies why and how the frequencies come into our bodies. So many of you have seen, I have described it before, but I would like to again reiterate this, is that as we move through the planes of being initiated into higher reality fields, these frequencies are literally conducted through our central nervous system, but outside of our physical, we again have a metaphysical blueprint of our central nervous system. We're actually an amazingly complex web of wiring. So it's kind of hard to envision at this level, as the personality computer program Lisa is talking to you. I'm just a bunch of wires standing here actually. But on the other planes of reality, and as we drill down, and at this level of consciousness, we're pretty much working with mostly the 7 bodies is where we're at. I know that we're working with 12th dimensional frequency, but until you actually process oversoul energy and go through a biological ascension, you're really only working with the first 7 layers of your primary chakra system right now.